So I appreciate those that have been listening to our videos, and those that joined us recently. You guys are highly welcome. My name is Christopher Elijah, but I'm popularly known as EverProf. I welcome you all. I'm from Nigeria, and we have a lot from Nigeria, from Ghana, Cameroon, other countries in Africa, Ghana, US, different parts of United States of America. That is different parts of America, North America, South America, Australia. I welcome you guys to our second video class. So the last class we learned about introduction to HTML. What is HTML? The basics of HTML, that is tags and elements. Then we learn how we can output something on our environment. So let's go back to where we stopped the last time and continue from there. For those using Windows, we all know how to open Visual Studio Code. You just go to your start button in this place. Then I'll just type Sublime here. Sublime is already out, that is this particular one. Then open it. Then my environment is empty. I've cleared all those things I have here before. So our topic today says attributes in HTML. We want to look at the different attributes in hypertext markup language. So before we look at the attributes, there are some tags we didn't mention the other one. What we mentioned the other one was the heading. A heading. That was what we mentioned the last one, where we have hello world. You save. Remember that you always save. If you edit, you save. Edit, you save. Then you minimize your environment. Then this is the folder we have been using for our work before. Just open the folder. Then this is the file index.html. Open the index. Alright, this is the hello world. That's what we learned the other time, using header to output whatever you want to be outputted in your environment. You see, I have another tag or another element called p element. It's a shortcut for paragraph. Now this is the paragraph. You can also say this is a paragraph. Oh, sorry. This is a paragraph. Then come to your browser, refresh your environment. You can see it here. This is your browser. Then there are also some elements apart from these two. We have bold, B. It's just only B. This is just an element called bold. You can just say this is a bold. This is bold. Then what is the function of this bold? It will be thicker in our environment. It will make our work to be thicker. Now this is used, for example, for those of us that used to write blog posts. If you want to draw the attention to a particular thing, as you want a text to be thicker than the rest, then you use your bold to make that particular text bold. Come to your browser, you refresh. Can't you see now? This is bold. If you look, this one is thicker than this paragraph. This is lighter, this is thicker. It's something like our normal typing environment. For example, Microsoft Word. Let's say, for example, this is just a paragraph. This is a paragraph. Then if you want to make it bold, to make it thicker, you can just select the paragraph. See this icon here, bold. Can't you see? It's now thicker than the former one. This is how to write a paragraph and even make it more thicker. Then you can even undo this one. Let's remove this one. Then and say it's a paragraph and a bold statement. Then this bold, this is where you want to make the users to see where you can bold it. Can't you see? There is difference in this sentence I just made now. This one is more thicker than the rest. So that's the function of this tag, of this element. This our B element have a closing tag, and opening tag, and a closing tag. So there are many elements that are within the body, or in fact the HTML has so many elements. Yeah, you have a lot of elements. We have underline elements, underline, that is yo, only yo. Now say this is an underline. Oh, sorry, this is underline. Okay, then let's view in the browser. Wow, are you seeing this? This is what underline. If you take a look at this one is underlined below. That is how to underline the text using this particular tag. Then if you take a look now, this particular word is the same line with this particular word. Why? Because this bold element is not a block of code. It's not a block, and this particular underline again is not a block of what element. all of them are not block. They are just used to what? To edit a document. Now, to make this particular one to be on one line and this another line, so there's another element we call break. You can write it like this. It's still correct. You can still put a forward slash like this. You are still correct. Anyone you write, you are still correct. But just using the one with that slash, it will still work very well. Now, this particular one is used to break code. Used to break line. Sorry, it's to break line. Now, if I take this particular one, I cut it, Ctrl X for your keyboard, or yeah, that's for my window, Ctrl X, cut it. Then I cut to this place, then I Ctrl V, paste this place. Now, it means that once this text get to this point, after this particular element, let it break this line. For example, we are typing in Microsoft Word now. Yeah, you now press enter key, it will break this line. But normally this line is not up to the ending yet, but you just stop here, then press enter key from your keyboard, it will break the line. Now, to put this effect, that is the reason why we are putting this break. Then if you now save, come to your browser, refresh. That is good. You see our text now is now below this particular one. So those are different kind of elements we have in HTML. We have a lot of them. You see, we have underline. Sorry, we have a line rule, not underline, line rule. To create a line is different from underlining. Now we want to put a line below this heading and the rest. This is just the paragraph, the text inside this heading. So we want to put a line below them and to separate content. Yeah, for those of us that are used to write content, that is content creators, you have to put a line rule to rule it, meaning that I'm done with this particular setup. The below are other kind of what content I will put on my blog, or those that want to build a company website. You have a product is at the top, so you want to put another product at the down. So you now put a line, yeah, a line, horizontal line, a ruler to rule it, mean that this is the end of this product. So in that aspect, how can we achieve that? You just put this code here, HR. Now this particular code, you now give a line between this particular element, then and this particular element you have here, this third element you have here, it will give a line. If you save it, onto your browser and view, wow, now this is the line I'm saying. You now give a line between a line, now is separating this content from this particular content. So this is how, these are the what, some elements that I what in HTML. We have many of them. We have a lot. We still have anchor tag A. We have anchor tag. This is an anchor tag A. It's used to what? To write a link. Yeah. This one is to refer a link. For example, now you want to like Google. Let's say Google. Let's refresh the environment. Oh, sorry, I just closed the environment by mistake. You can double click here. To open. Are you seeing it? See our link now. Our link is what? This Google. So to make it work, we'll get to that later. This is Google. To make it work, we have to pass something called href. Yeah, this is a link tag. We pass what they call href. That's what I'm about to explain now. Wow. Are you seeing it now? I think it will take us to nowhere because we didn't put the link of Google. Okay, see the Google don't change to a link. This is like a link now. Now to make it to come down, remember what I said? You have to what? Break your code. Yeah, put here. You now say break. BR, yeah, correct. Save your work. Come to the environment, refresh your page, see that the Google is running down. This is a link. Now that this A tag is called an anchor tag. It's kind of an anchor. That is anchor. Anchor means in English, it means that something that holds something. It take you to somewhere. It will anchor you from one place to the other. So it's an anchor tag taking you from one particular place to another place using the location. Yeah, using the location to, as in, it serves like a link, linking two things together. Where you can jump directly to that particular place. It serves like, for example, now you are traveling from let me say Nigeria to Spain or Nigeria to India. There's what you go to use like an airline. So you now board an airline, then you now use a flight, a plane to take you from Nigeria to what? To India. So that plane you are entering, that's what? The anchor tag. Then the path the plane is taking in the air to land at India, that is what? This href. So I believe this my little explanation will tell you, will make you understand what anchor tagging is. Please don't forget this anchor tag is very, very important. No problem. So the topic of today now said what? HTML attributes. That's our topic today. So let me erase this thing. HTML attributes. All right. So HTML attributes gives more information to an element present in HTML. Now, HTML attributes gives more information about an element or a tag. For example, now this is what? A head tag. Now, if you put an attribute here, it will give you more information concerning this head element. It will give you more details of what you can do concerning this head element. Now, we have some things guiding the HTML attributes. So let's put it in a border format. Yeah. The HTML attributes can be, let's just say, okay, it is present in HTML element. 2, it is only found in the opening tag. Yeah, opening tag. It's okay. A tag or element. A tag can have more than one attribute. Then an attribute, it appears as key value pair. Key value pair. Now this is how HTML attributes, information concerning HTML attributes is being ascertained. Now first one, I said it is present in HTML elements. That means that every HTML element can have an attribute. The number 2, it is found in an opening tag. Let's say for example, these are opening tag. This is, let's for example, this P or this H. This is an opening tag. This is a closing tag. Now this slash, I said before, this slash is what they call opening. This tag, this slash, this backslash makes it to be what? A closing tag. This is what it is to close a tag. So if you want to put an attribute, you can only put it where in the opening tag, and you can never put it where in the closing tag. It's very wrong. can't put it in the closing tag. So it's only put where in only this closing this opening tag. This is where you can put your attributes, and it can be found. You can put it in all the tags, but it should be what the opening tag. That is good. So there's another one again I outlined there. A tag can have more than one attribute. Yes, that is correct. Like this particular place now, this one can have more than one attribute. For example, this one is a head element containing all these particular element inside. That is the children element of the head. This meta is a self-closing tag. It don't have the opening and closing tag. It will close by itself. That's why I put a backslash here. Backslash. But if you remove it, it will still work very well. But for good practice, the way I was taught that I was meant to close it for a good practice. So I also encourage you to still close your own, even though it's self-closing tag. Like all these ones, so this break, this rule, all of them are self-closing tag. I didn't close them, but this particular one I closed them. Why? For just good practicing for good practicing purposes or purpose. That's why I closed it. Okay, now this first one, it has an attribute called character set. And this character set is the value is UTF-8. Now it means the character encoding. What the website is using, the character set, the encoding is using UTF-8. We have UTF-16. So if you want to know about this UTF, you can open it online. It's just the code, the language code. That's what the browser uses. The code as in the character code it uses. So this particular one, meta is still the same one with this one, but this one have different attributes. It has name. All the name of this one is viewport, and it's every device. For example, this device here online. Here is my viewport. Where I'm seeing this environment is my viewport. Then you say width device width. It means the width of this my viewport. The width of this my device. The width of this my device. Then this one, the initial scale to 1. That is the scale. How is it zooming out my typing? The scale I'm using to see all these things is 1. So that's what this one stands for. So this particular one now is the title which you know very well. So this one don't have an attributes. So our body is an element. It can have an attribute. Yes, our body can have an attribute. Now let's take for example. Let me remove all these ones. We are moving gradually. We want to upload an image to our website. Now there is an element called image element. Now this is a format. img. Close the tag. This is our image tag. Now if I save it, nothing will appear in our website. Why? Number one, I remember I moved everything I typed before, but there's still an image tag, but our website says nothing is there. The reason is because I didn't link an image to this place. I didn't put a link that will direct me to where the browser can put the image from. Now for practice purpose, now if I open this folder, this one you have seen before, this is the folder. I have only my HTML file here, but there is no image in this place. Normally, I can refer the link. I have so many images in my system. I can put a link here directly to the image, but it will look so cumbersome. It will look so clumsy. Now to make it more simpler, I just go to where I have images in my system, like pictures. Take any of my pictures, anyone at all you have in your system, you can take them. I take this one. Then right click. If I'm using a window, right click, you see copy here. If I'm using MacBook, so just look for how to copy. If I'm using Linux, look for how to copy. Then go back to the environments, this particular place, this is our folder for our website. You paste the image. Now for me, I always rename any file I copied. Why? Because of typing purposes. Just name it image. Or you can name it anything you like, either your name or anything, or first image or anything at all. But the only thing I will advise you, please remember the extension. You can just point at the image, the extension will come out. That is item type JPG file. That is a JPEG file. But if your own does not show, why pointing at it like this? Now the best way to do it is just come to the image, select the image, right click on the image, then click on what properties. Then from here you can now see what the file, the type of file is what is a JPG file. That's this one showing here. While the dimension, go to details, dimension, that is dimension, that is the size, how wide it is, and this the width and the height it is. That is the what dimension. So come back. Now go to our coding environment. There is an attribute. Now this is just start using an attribute, key value pair. Now say source. There's an attribute called source. Source is the place, is sourcing out the location. The location of what our image. These are the right source. See, this is one. I remember how I wrote it here. Key value pair. I say put the key, then equals to, then the value should be what in quotes. Then are you seeing it now? This is the key source. Then the value should be in quotes. The value will not be the what the location of the image. Now if you take a look now, the image is in the same place with our browser, the same place, the same direction. The image is not in the folder, in the same place. Now because of that, they are in the same place. Then I will link the image directly. But before I will put the image source, I want to show you an attribute called alternate. Alternate. Now what is the function of this alternate? Now this alternate particular one will now tell the browser the information about the image. For example, if the image has not appeared, say for example an image is supposed to be here. An image is supposed to be here. Now let's take a case, this example, the image is supposed to be here. Then if you go and view it on a browser, it appears an image is supposed to be here. Now if you carry an image icon, this particular something, I know that all of us have one way encounter this particular icon in any site you are working with. Why is it like that? It's because the browser have not fetched the image from the server, or the image does not appear, or it has been corrupted. Now in our case here, the image is not corrupt. The reason is that what the image link is not being provided. So if there is an error, it will show. Just as a developer, you have to put the alternative showing the reason why the image did not appear. Now if your image did not appear and they didn't see what an alternative, that means you are not a good coder, you are not a good developer. So you're supposed to be a good developer, telling people what's supposed to be here at a particular time. So you have to provide a link that will direct a user or a client, or telling them the reason why the image did not appear. Alright, so let's continue. You now put a link here. Let's put our link. Remember, it's in the same directory with the image, with the file. So you just say image, but just put the name directly, .jpg, or JPG is capital letter, see it here. Please, the way you see it, you do like that. The way it is, you write it like that. Save your work. Then come to your browser and refresh. Wow! So we have successfully uploaded our first image. But come to think of it, the image is so big, very very big. We want to reduce the size of the image to make it smaller. Then how can we achieve that? Remember that I told you that an attack can have more than one attribute. So we pass another attribute. Let's give, in this space, just give a space. Wow! So our code editor is very good. It brought out different attributes we can use within this image tag. We have title, name, align, alternate, and the rest. But what I'm looking for is the width. In particular one, choose the width. Then give it a width you want it to be like 100 pixels, or just only 100. Without putting any measurement unit here. Put in 100, width of 100. Then the height, just leave the width 100 for now. View the browser to see the outcome. Wow! So this is just very smooth and very cool. If you want to put your height again, you can as well put the height to 100 pixels. It will be nice, but our image will look compressed. it's like it's being compressed. So when see website building is all about what thinking. So if you put this one, it will not look fine. Remember, you are building what user interface. That's what they call it, UI/UX. Users will come to your site, just look at your picture, see the picture. It's being like someone from what depression. It's being compressed. Now for you to avoid all these things, just remove the height. But this one is just for practice purposes, because you want to know how to use height. Remove it. Since our width is working very well, there's no need of using the height. Save your work. Go to the browser, save. Okay, our image looks what more better than the other one. So you start manipulating to see how you can make it look more better. So these are the ways you can produce a proper image on your website. Okay, so we have now let's assume we want to put music in our website. For example, those that want to build entertainment websites, you want to upload the music to a music where people can download from. So you can put your music here. Then the tag to upload music is called an audio. It's an audio tag. Yep, this is a tag for audio. Now let's go and locate one of our music in the system. I think I have music here. Then any music at all, copy any music at all. But remember though, they want the file extension. Let me take this particular one. Anyone can serve. Then go back to your folder, paste it. Then rename your folder. As I told you before, rename it to anything. I can even put this music. And the file extension, if you point or check your property, say what? MP3. Please always remember my file extension says what? MP3. Then in this place, I can now put it here as my source. Music dot mp3. That's good. Now remember that the music is in the same directory with the file, so there's no need putting any kind of special link display. Just put the image, the music directly. Now let's go to our web browser to see our music functioning. Oops, our music is not here. What's happened to our code? Okay, now there is an attribute called what? Control. Called controls. It controls music and other special elements. Let's put control here. Refresh our site. Wow. So our music is what? Is present. This is our music. This is our picture. This is our music. So these are the method whereby you can put music and image in your website. Let's play the music. I see it. So our music have just what? Played. You can click on this icon. You see playback speed and another thing. So if you want to beautify it, that is when you will now be using CSS. You can even use JavaScript to make it more beautiful. Putting some events that you can do. You have on a click event, on focus, on abort, on play, can play. You have so many events in JavaScript. Don't worry, very soon you will enter CSS and JavaScript, whereby you'll be making your site to be what? More user friendly and dynamic. Okay, so these are how to use an attribute in your what? In your HTML. Alright, so by this particular image and this music, all of them, they are together, they are on one particular place. But I want this picture to be there, this music will be down. So there's an element I didn't tell you guys. It's called div. This is not special. It's not special. It's not special, but it is special. I will explain. Just like salt you use in your soup. Salt is so common, but it is useful. That in every home you can easily get salt and buy salt and use to cook. That is very common. But because it's common, it's not useless. Very useful. A soup without salt is useless. And there is no way, or it's not possible to build a complete website without using a div. I've not seen such. but you can skip it. But it is rare. This div is what? A container that holds elements. Now any element this div holds, you don't need to use this kind of elements called break. Yeah, this one is no longer useful if I'm using a div. Once you use a div to write something, for example, I say this is a div. I said yes, this is outside a div. Let me stop here and save. Now this particular element will be different. Will be in different line from this particular music. They will be below. They will not be the same line with this music and this audio. If you now take a look, the picture and the music in this particular code environment, they are not the same line. But on our website, both of them are the same line. Why? Because our code environment does not tell the browser how to arrange something, except it uses a code to direct the browser. So if you break a line here, even though you put like this and save, it will not give this kind of line in our web browser. It will never do this at all. Refresh, it's still the same thing. Now, if you not but to make our code to be very nice, there's no need to put all this line there. Now, if you not take a look now, these two particular statement, this is a div inside this div, and this particular one is outside this div. But if you take a look now, two of them are the same line, but if you enter the website, they are on different line. This is a div, outside a div. Why? This div is what they call a block. It's a block whereby everything inside it is what? It's like a container holding something. Any other thing that is not holding should be outside the container. That is the perfect explanation of what a div. Now, to make this particular element to be different, to be a block, that's when I pass a div. Pass a div. Yeah. This one now cut this particular closing tag, cut it, put it here, paste it. The same thing that happens, paste it again in this particular place, then open it again. Alright, so by now, see how I wrote it, opening div, this is the closing, but I passed this image inside it. Then this particular audio, I passed it inside what? Inside this particular div. Then if you refresh your site now, you see that this image will be at the top, while this particular music will be below the image. Why this text will not be here again? Because I've removed this particular one. If I refresh now, this is how it will appear. So now our website is getting what? More look. So that's more of it. Yeah, this is more of it. Now all these ones, they are all attributes. This is where we can get what? Attributes in our HTML. There are so many attributes, so many of them. Now for example, this is our image. I can hide it, even though the source is here. I can hide it, though it's present in the website too, but the browser will not show it because I gave the command called hidden. Now this is what they call hidden. This hidden means that what? Don't show me this tag, don't show this image tag, don't show it, but know that it exists. So that is what it means. Now if I refresh my page, this image tag will not be here again. Are you seeing it? It's out. Not that it's not in the website, but I give a command that they should hide that image for me. For example, there are some things you will code and hide it for your website. Alright, so before we close for today, I want us to build a form. I want to build a form to see a contact form. Yeah, let's build an HTML form. That's cool. So let me leave this particular one. Then let's build a form. Then before we build a form, now take note, a form is a container by itself, but you can still wrap it up in a div. Just open a div like this, close it. Then if you are building a form, you must use this a form what element to know that, to make the website know that what you are building what? A form. In this form, there are many things inside this form that you can put inside. There are many things inside. First of all, there is what they call what? Label. Yeah, label. You just put a label. This label will not say what? You not say full name. Full name. Now this is a text inside the label. Now in this place, now put an input. Remember I told that input is what? This input is an element without what? Without a closing and opening tag. If you don't take a look now, it doesn't have closing tag, but I can just put a slash here. Yeah. If you are using HTML4 or let me say XHTML, that is old version of HTML. This is a strict law. You must put this slash. Yes, but HTML5 has been updated that even though without putting this slash, it will still work. But for good practice purposes, you can put it. It does not mean anything. It does not reduce or increase the size of your work. Just put it for what? Good practice. Now, let's see how our website will now look like. Oh, that is cool. So let me go and unhide my image. Let me unhide it. Remove the hidden attributes. Save it so that my image can appear. Oh, I have my form here that I can click. I can type inside. Wow. All right. This is what full name. If you take a look, there is what? A semicolon at the front. Now I put that in my what? In my label. This is just a label. No, there's nothing so serious inside this label. It's just to put a container holding what? Full name. Even if I remove this label, it will still work perfectly. Yeah, it will work so perfectly. It will work perfectly. There's no much. If I refresh, see, it's working very well. There's no difference. But for good practice, I want to use it. Use the label. Put the label. I'm going to use it. So let's duplicate this code. Look at this code here. I can change here to email. Email. If you see refresh, if you see, are you seeing it? There are one line. Then here, you can now put what? Your name, your email. Then you can put your phone number. Yeah, if you want to put your phone number, contact, you can put your phone number. Then this particular type, it means which type you want. By default, the type is what? Text. This is by default. The same thing, it won't change anything. It won't change anything. It's still text. All of them are text by default. If you didn't put anything, but if you can put your email, you have a type called email. Then we have a type called telephone. Yeah, you can scroll down. You have different kind. Okay, you didn't show here. You can just put it telephone. Tel. Refresh. It will start like this. Yeah. Or you can just put this only number. You can just put number there. Refresh. Are you seeing it? It's number. So you can just increase and decrease from here. Now this is telling the web browser that this particular input field is not a text field, it's a number field. Just point, it should show you this arrow. A point like this one should not show you because what? It's a text field. It's a text field. Then I'm trying to make, I'm supposed to make all of them to be what? Aligned to be below each other. Remember, we use what? Our break here. Just be breaking our code. Save your work, go to your browser, refresh. Wow. Then they are all working perfectly. That working. Then here we have to change it to email. Refresh. Here we change to email. Now it's working well. This is what? An email. So the last one is message. So we put another one, label, message. In the message, it's not going to be an input. Now there is an element that allows us to type a very long text. Now the element is called what? Text area, where you can type a very long text. Yeah, it's called text area. It is an opening and what closing tag. It has a closing tag, text area. In this text area, yeah, you can put a placeholder. Oh, I remember there's okay, let's refresh to see how it is. Now this is our text area. You can increase the size of the text area. Are you seeing it? Wow. So this one is just an input field. You can't increase the size at all. This one you can, because there is something here showing here. This showing here means that you can increase the size and reduce the size of this what text area. So that's what they call what? Placeholder. Placeholder is used to give us direction. It's a fake input. It's a fake text that will not submit at all. It's used to what? Give direction. But before that, let's put our button. Let's put our button. Then even there's an input. This is an input tag. Input. You can even make it a button. Make it a button. This type now says submit. Submit. Just say we submit. Then this for, don't worry about this name showing. All this name showing. All this name is for back end. Yeah, it's used to run the back end code. This name are used for back end code, but the browser just put it for us automatically. That is for the back end. So this name, don't worry about the attribute. It's not for front end. It's what you use to submit your form to the back end. So if you refresh your browser now, alright. So I've seen it. So if you submit now, look at, if I click this button, submit button, here we refresh. See my look at here. I look at, okay. Now if I click this submit button, see, I've seen it. It's refreshing, meaning that our form is submitting. See, I'm question mark. Let me do question mark here. I've seen it now. If I click again, it's refreshing. My form is was submitting, so somewhere. I've seen it. Alright. So there's another way to put this thing. If you don't use this thing, let me comment it. Oh, I forgot. There's what they call comments. Now comments in programming is like a block of, it's like an instruction as you get to a browser that is like using a hidden attribute, hiding a code. Now this is a comment, HTML comment. A comment is like giving an instruction to the browser that don't show this code. Don't show this code. Now for example, I can comment all this environment. If I comment them, this code is here, but the browser will what? Ignore it. Comment means what? A block of code that the browser will intentionally what? Ignore. Now I have commented this code. How? By using HTML comment. Now how do I write HTML comment? By what? Opening tag like this. Now give dash, come to this, and then dash, then you close it. This is what? A comment. Alright, now this is a comment. Open angle brackets. You put this is just a comment. Okay, let me write this here. Like this. Then like this. You put a exclamation mark up like this. Then you now close it. Now this is what? HTML comment. This is HTML comment. Then the code, you just say code goes here. Code goes here. Alright. Code goes here. Now this is a comment. This is how to write a comment. If you take a look now, if you write a comment, the code will be graded out. the color will change. See these ones, they have colors, they are mean that they are working. But once you put a comment, the code will not work again, meaning that the browser will never see it. If I refresh now, my submit button will not show anymore because I've commented it. Now why do we use comments? Number one, to make our code what, like for example now we have written a code for a long time and we want to come back to what, maintain the code. Now how can we remember what you have written before? You go to what, comment. When you see the comment, oh, this is the place where I do so thing, so that one will not remember what you did in that particular place. Or why do you use a comment? For example, you are working with other developers and you are telling them your code, so you want to explain what you did in this particular place. That's when you put a comment in that place. Now this is where you put a comment. Now let me delete this one. This particular one is a comment. I commented this particular one. Let me save and refresh. Now this particular submit will never show again. It has disappeared. So let me use another form, a button. That's what they call button. Button in a form, by default, the type is what, submit. The type is submit. Alright. Okay, button. Alright. So I'm not write the inner HTML here, or the text that will appear here, submit. If you didn't put this text here, for example now there's no text here, if you refresh your browser, you will see a very small button here. Yeah, it's going to be very small, but you have to put your text here so that it will look nice. Refresh your browser. Wow, you now see a submit button here. So this is the way I use to write my button. You can use like this, you can use like this. Now the difference is that this particular one, you use particular input. If you view this one using Firefox, it will tell you submit what, query. It should not even write submit. Okay, let's try it. Let's uncomment it and comment. Okay, let's leave two of them. Viewing this browser, are you seeing it? Submit. Now let's copy this link. Then minimize, go to our Firefox. Where is our Firefox? So Firefox. Okay, Firefox browser. Okay, my Firefox is loading. Now if I put the link here, wow, are you seeing it? The first one said submit query. That's this for the input, while the button says submit. So that's why most people like using what, this button submit instead of this button submit. So it's universal. All browsers will take this one as normal submitting button, but why Firefox we take this particular one as what, as submit query. So that's just the difference. So let's comment it again. Alright, so this is how to produce what, a form. Okay, let's be using this particular browser. This is what how to produce a form. Okay, now there's also another input called what, check. Though this is a contact form anyway. Let me put a heading here. Contact form. Now this is a contact form. Okay, contact form. Now your assignment, you have come to the end of the class. Now your assignment, I want you guys to upload music and a video in your environment. Then it must not be a picture, so that it's not as in, I don't want to see, don't put picture. Just put a video, upload a video to your website, make sure it's working. Then upload music, make sure it's playing. Like my own just played now. Then now produce a form. A contact form like this, and give me all these details I put here. Thank you so much for watching this successful class. I wish to see you guys on the next class, that is on Friday. So be patient, Practice the code, regular practice. Remember, I told you guys that everyday practice is the best. A coder is supposed to be practicing what? Every day. So don't skip a day without practicing. That's if you want to be what? A real programmer. Programmer practice every day. If you practice for some hours, you rest. Practice again, you rest. So this is all about programming. Thank you so much for listening to me. Please do your assignment. The organizers are not much happy because the last project, it was only few that did the assignments and sent it to us. Please, the company is spending so much. Take note, programming is not cheap. Programming is expensive, so we have to take some effort, some finances to make sure that you guys get all these things at ease and free. But it looks like you guys are not like taking it the way we want to bring it to you. Please, it's not fair. You guys should try all your means and learn. Watch the video. If you have any question, ask any of the admin the question. They will answer you. We have 3 admins there. All of them are developers. They are all willing to receive your questions and answer you. Please, if you don't have any question concerning web design, our course, don't ask us. If you want to do any services, you can tell us. We tell you how we conduct the services to you. Alright, please do your assignment, submit it, and we will give you back your feedback. That's our goal. Remember, at the end of the course, there is a certificate. If you do well, we give you that certificate, and there is something attached to the certificate, which is going to be a gift for the best developer. Please try